When we came in here, we knew that the lodging was already tight in the Minot area and in commercial workspace also. And a lot of that had to do with the exploding oil exploration up in the northwest part of the state, basically from Williston to Minot. So there was a lot of activity already ongoing. And then you couple that with the Souris River or Mouse River flood that necessitated evacuating 11,000 to 12,000 people, resulting in damage from minor to severe of 4,100 homes along the Souris River Valley, and lodging just became extremely critical. And FEMA's position is that we will not take lodging away from the survivors. The first goal is to put the survivors in safe and secure lodging. So then we have a problem with no motels, lots of people who need lodging, responders coming in that don't have lodging. What is there to do? We looked at shuttle buses and commute. 2 hours up, 2 hours back, plus their day, didn't have time for adequate rest and safety and security. So that led us, unfortunately, to about only one solution, was what we call a responder support camp.
I'm proud to have this here today because now we're not driving 4 hours a day to get to Ground Zero. And Ground Zero is Ward County. My job is all across the state, however. But other parts of the state, we have hotels, we have lodging to stay. Unfortunately, in this area, one of the hardest hit areas, we don't have any place for our workers to stay. And this, in my opinion, gives us a safe, a secure, totally functional, and for our folks, and so they can support you without worrying about where they need to live. This is just the first step. This is the first time that we're going to walk in as you check in starting tomorrow. But this is not how it's going to look in the end. There will be changes, there will be improvements. As you look around the camp, you'll see workers still working. They're there to help improve what we have in place. We're having, as I said before, we have a mayor that's going to be there for your needs and looking at your inputs, but we have to work that inputs through the process. So this is the beginning, and I think it's a great beginning. We have a place to start and support the survivors on the ground. And I appreciate your outstanding support thus far, and I look forward in the near future.
When a customer comes in with their laundry, we take their name and give them a ticket, and in 24 hours they can reclaim their laundry, which would be washed, dried, and folded.
connection with our cabin line.
Staying here at the base camp is probably the first time that all the entities with, you know, the Army Corps, Red Cross, FEMA, all of us have just worked right together, get to know each other together and find out what, you know, everybody's doing. I think this is what we're supposed to do.
Things have improved considerably. When we first came here, it was pretty rough. I've been here since the beginning, since it opened. The beds weren't comfortable, you know, there was lack of sleep, lack of me time, you know, so it was rough, but things have improved considerably. I'm actually comfortable now. I don't mind sleeping here, so it's been pretty good.
Well, the Army Corps bypassed this site for a housing unit because it's a possible wetland. That didn't seem to stop anybody from putting a camp here. If we're doing lessons learned, it was built next to a swamp, next to the train tracks, on the short flight path to the airport.
Mosquitoes were rampant. They were everywhere. We were getting bit. There were beetles crawling within our beds. Grasshoppers, you'd wake up in the morning and, oops, good morning, Mr. Grasshopper. So the bugs were a big problem when we first moved here. When we arrived, it was a little shocking. We had a field of mud and water. There was a smell of sewer in the air. We did not have the wood planks that we have to walk on. It was just mud and gravel. And over the time, it has changed a lot. They've put in a breezeway for us. They've put the planks down so we'd have a smooth walk. And it's not a bad place. I really enjoy it now.
One of the issues here was the need for a camp. And early on, I think the right decision was made to set up a facility that would house FEMA and the teams that come and work with us so that we didn't burden the community in trying to house us when the housing was so short in Minot. In the future, I would recommend that any time we looked at a setting where we were going to have an RSC for more than a month, we look at solid wall, solid roof type structures. When you use tent structures have a limit. They're basically designed for about a 70-mile-an-hour wind. That's not exceptional here in North Dakota, so there's a whole safety component. These kinds of structures don't provide safe refuge from very severe weather, tornadoes or other events like that. You have to have a plan on how you would relocate people. For example, if there's a forecast for 60-plus-mile-an-hour winds, gusts, would you stay in camp, or would you relocate all those people somehow to a hardened shelter somewhere proactively?
One good thing, lessons learned, was they created somebody that they gave him a title of mayor. And yeah, it's you know, just a term, but it was a point of contact and then each organization appointed people to represent them, and we had not weekly meetings there for a while, and that's how things started to get ironed out. Concerns was brought forward. Many of the items are fixed. That was a good thing. If you're going to do lessons learned, that was a real good thing to do.
One of the challenges were there were a certain percentage of people who didn't want to come to camp, and that did create some issues with staffing and other things that made it tougher. Another issue with camps is to make sure that they're fully functional before we put people in them. it's very, very challenging to try to make adjustment to the facilities when they're already occupied.
One of the things that came in as an afterthought, and is after everybody really complained about it, was refrigerators, microwaves and stuff. If you're going to set somebody in a camp in an area that's been devastated, and the only way for responders to get any kind of rest to go back and work day after day is to have some amenities.
You work all day, often 12-hour days plus with your coworkers, and then essentially you're coming back into a setting in which you're now spending your evenings with them, literally sleeping in the same tent with very limited privacy. And so I think for a lot of folks that's challenging. It's just no time off in a way.
I've met a lot of great people at the camp. That's one of the benefits of being here. You meet people from all walks of life. You find out how interesting they are.
On the other side, I think there's a group of us who are proud to actually do this. We thought it was important that the community needed our assistance in being able to do this and not compete with the survivors for homes in the hotels or things like that. It was really the right thing to do. And I think there's a lot of pride among quite a few people here that they were part of that effort, that it's worked, and that, you know, this is what FEMA is at its best, is when we do things like this.
Life is hard enough without having a devastation come into your life. I try to let people know or give them the feel that not only do I care for you, I'm willing to help you get back to normal, to walk you through the steps to reclaim your life.
This is another day at the office. This is what DAEs are supposed to do. And until all these folks get out of the shelters, this is where we're going to be.